Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Talk of the Crown. Welcome to my weekly live chat. If you're new here, a big thumbs up and welcome to you. The format is really simple. It's talk about the British royal family. You can say what you want. You can say hello to me if you haven't got a question. You can just sit there and listen to the comments and read the screen. It's entirely up to you. We are live at 10 o'clock British time, that's GMT, every Saturday. And don't worry if you've missed me live, this chat goes straight onto my YouTube channel immediately after I finish this live chat. But you can always keep up with the comments afterwards as well. So if you watch on catch up, it really shouldn't ruin your experience. Now, I always go to my chat room so I can see who's here. And let me see, there's always plenty of activity before I even get here. So let's see who's in the room. We have Ingrid and Oh Dear and Kimberly and M Fairchild and James Medford and Donna and Claire. Who else do we have? We have our resident moderator, Jamie, so remember to behave, and Diana and Aileen Rosenberg and Elaine, MSMB 2012. Vilma is here, and the first Mrs. R, and Janice, and Sharon Nichols. And Ain't That. I'm going to call you Ain't That because the second part of your name I'm not going to say live. Okay, so welcome. Oh, by the way, guys, if you're in the chat room live right now, I've limited the comments to one every 30 seconds just to see if it will improve things with regards of keeping me a little bit more in line with you guys, because usually I'm about 15-20 minutes behind on the chat, so hopefully this will help a little bit, but do let me know in the comment section below and live if you think the time in between postings needs to be adjusted, and I will make a decision next week. OAM Fane says, hello Elliot, hope you have a Guinness tonight. You had a huge sauceable week. I did indeed. Unfortunately, you're cleaning up, but we'll be screening me from your large TV so you can listen. That's a good idea. Don't forget as well, if you don't have a lot of time in the week, you can always listen to my live chats, almost like a podcast. I mean, yes, sometimes I do show some visual things which you might want to take a look at, but the majority of it you can actually listen to almost like a podcast. When you're doing your cleaning, when you're doing your shopping, you can listen to me anywhere. Hello to 99 Feeney from Chicago, and Vilma is in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Hello to Arnold Sanders as well. And yes, the big news, happy birthday, or happy birth, I should say, to His Royal Highness Prince Louis. It's Louis Arthur George of Cambridge, and we will get to all the baby talk in a little while, because rather than talk about the naming of the baby first, I want to actually kind of go back and talk a little bit about the birth. Hello to Kathy and Sonia and Eileen and Donna and Orla. Vinny says some people are going to call the new Prince Louis. Yes, it's not Louis. The way that Catherine and William have spelt the name is the French version, and in Britain we pronounce the French version as Louis. Think L-O-O and then W-E-E, Louis. If you say Lou and we and put it together, you will get the right pronunciation. It's Louis. So yes, it's not Prince Louis, it's Prince Louis. And I think, Diana, I've just answered your comment about how it's supposed to be pronounced. In fact, if I type it as well in the comment section, then you'll see. So look, it's, hang on, it's Lou. There you go. Can you see? If you say it like that, you will not go wrong. Louis. Sue Miller says, hi all from South Africa. Royal Reviewer, where does the name Arthur come from? Well, Arthur is a real name. We did have a King Arthur. There's Arthur, the Knights of the Round Table, the legend of Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. So it is in the family. It is a name that has been used in the family, but it's not one that's been in recent use. But of course, we know where Charles came from, and we know where Louis came from, because it's the name of Charles's, I suppose, uncle in a way, you could say. But it was also Philip's uncle as well. But even though Philip and Charles are father and son, Charles still called him uncle. So it was Louis Mountbatten, and it's in respect of him. And if you've noticed, in a lot of the royal births since Louis of Mountbatten, Louis has been included in the name as a middle name quite often in boys' names, but never as a first name. And because the pronunciation is very French sounding, it was a bit of a curveball. I never ever expected Louis to be chosen as a first name. I was totally shocked. As it happens, I do actually like the name. I think it's really good. I think it suits. And with the combination of names, with the Arthur and the Charles, it does make a strong name. Louis in itself isn't a particularly strong name, but as a combination, they do fit, I think. Let me know what you think. But it was a complete curveball, and I did not expect it at all. Hi, Candice, and yes, I am doing very well. How are you? Ain't That says, I called Arthur Philip Charles. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Indeed, it is not. M. Fairchild says, wow, he's late. Who is late? I'm not late. I was on time. M. Fairchild says, from King Arthur, I would expect. The first Mrs. R says, us Americans are bound to mess that up. We pronounce both spellings the same way. Well, I've just so you know, it's Louis. Think we. Louis. There you go. Juan Provida says, what title do you think Harry and Meghan get when they get married? You like the Count of Belfast. Well, I don't think it's going to be an Earl and a Countess title combination. I think it's likely to be a dukedom, and the one that's been mooted for a very long time that's said to be reserved, although we don't know for sure, is Sussex. But Clarence and a few others are available too. But the most likely one is probably Sussex. But as with the name Louis, there could be a massive curveball. There could be the chance of a complete new creation of a title. We don't know. We really, really don't know. But the most likely at the moment is probably going to be Sussex. So they will be their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Eileen says, Prince William to be Harry's best man. Any thoughts on who Meghan might have as a bridesmaid? Well, obviously, I think it'll be her close personal friends, because I think they've kind of expressed that they want the wedding, especially the ceremony part, to be, even though it's televised, to be quite personal. So I'm not entirely sure on the names of who they're definitely going to be for certain. There is speculation on who they might be, but I'm not entirely sure exactly. But yes, it's finally been confirmed that Prince William is to be Harry's best man. And he said recently this week that he's really looking forward to getting revenge. So obviously Harry may have been a little bit naughty when he was best man for William. So William is trying to get revenge. So I'd be really interested to find out what that revenge was. What joke is William going to play on Harry? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. MS31 says, hello, Elliot. Do you like the name Louis? Well, hello to you. And yes, I do. I do like it. I didn't expect it. I was expecting maybe Arthur or even Richard. When Prince William said it was going to be a strong name, I thought, oh, well, maybe Richard might be a contender. You know, Charles was always one that I thought could be in the running for a middle name, but I was not expecting Louis, but I do like it, and I do like the combination of names. Lots of people saying they should have honoured Michael, the Middleton father. The first Mrs. R says, Henry VIII's older brother was named Arthur, so England came close to having a real... Yes. Of course, when I said about having a King Arthur, I did, of course, mean the... what should we call it? The King Arthur and the Knights Round Table. It's kind of like a myth, isn't it? I suppose we could say. Ingrid says the name Louis is so French. That's what I said. And you didn't expect it either. James Med4 says, I thought they might go with a traditional name, but not a royal traditional like Peter Phillips. Yes, I mean, I was expecting a traditional set of names. But like I say, Louis as a first name was a complete curveball. Francesca likes the name. Kathy says, who do you think potential godparents will be? Well, William and Harry have not William and Harry, William and Catherine in the past with godparents have kind of shunned official kind of royal people, and they've gone with more friends, I suppose, friends and family. Just clearing my throat. So yeah, so again, it's one of those things we don't know until it actually happens, but you know, expect the christening, you know, in the imminent type future. When I say imminent, I don't mean like just around the corner. They'll probably wait 3-4 months maybe until the christening, maybe longer. Some people go 6 months now, don't they? Jamie says, I hope they didn't choose Louis after Mountbatten. Not fond of him. I think it was definitely after Louis Mountbatten. Most definitely. First Mrs. R says, what is the standard you have behind you? It's the royal standard. It's the same one that was draped across Diana's coffin, and the one that the Queen uses. It's the official royal standard, and it's a flag. I bought a flag off Amazon. Oh, by the way, speaking of Amazon, just to tease you, hang on, let me get them. Just to tease you, I am going to do a live opening unboxing. Now, you can see, I'm going to tease you a bit first. I have pre-opened the packages, but I haven't looked inside. And I've had these for about a week now. I've been putting off opening them because I wanted to do it live. So I've shown great reserve, and I haven't opened them. So I am going to open them later on in the show, so don't let me forget. But I will be doing some live openings from my Amazon wishlist. Francesca likes the name. I think I've answered that one. Stacey Lamb says, hi, Elliot, you look handsome. Thank you so much. I do try every single week. It costs a lot to look this cheap. And the brooch this week, just in case you were wondering, it's the Australian wattle brooch. And of course, I've chosen this because of Anzac Day, which occurred this week, which Charles attended an engagement for, and Harry and Meghan and William attended the Anzac Day memorial or service, whichever you want to call it. So that is why I'm wearing this one today. M. Fairchild says, and I think there was a Arthur, Duke of Connaught, or however it's, but I think it's Connaught, if I'm not mistaken. Kimberly says, I have no video, only sound. Please refresh. And OAM Fanny, I think I've just said what badge I'm wearing tonight. Well, it's actually a brooch. And yes, the light is quite bright, although I have diffused it. I have a tea towel over my light to make it a little bit more diffused. Hello to Jojo. And yes, Jamie, it's the royal standard, of course. Cindy says, first time I've been able to be here live, finally. Hello. I enjoy your channel so much. Well, thank you, Cindy, and hello to you. Vinny Blair says, usually the boys got 4 names, but William has changed that to 3. Yes, with all of his children, George and Charlotte and Louis, he's only had the 3 names. Who knows? Harry might be different and might go back to 4. There is no set rule. No rule has changed. It's just personal preference. And yeah, Harry may choose to go to 4 whenever he and Meghan have children, which I'm sure will not be too long after they're married. In fact, I am predicting a royal baby for Harry and Meghan. I'm going to note this down now. I'm going to commit it to video so that for all eternity. I think they will be pregnant by the end of the year, and I am expecting the birth of a royal baby in 2019. So next year, I think there will be a baby from Harry and Meghan. I don't think they're going to beat around the bush. I think they are going to get straight to it so that they can have their own family. Valerie Matthews says, I would really like to watch the coronation with clips, but you can't seem to find the hour-long show. I'd be very grateful if I could help. I'm sure it's on YouTube. I think I've seen the coronation. And if you can't, I'm sure you can buy it as a DVD on Amazon. I'm sure you can. In fact, I think I've seen it, definitely. James Medford says, any news on Prince Philip or Charles liking the name Louis? We haven't had any comment on if they like it, and it's very doubtful that we will get any. comments on them liking it. Ingrid says, I read Harry and Meghan's children will not be prince or princesses unless the Queen steps in and changes things like she did for William. Interesting. Otherwise, they'll be lady or duke. Yes, you are quite right. Automatically, they aren't entitled to be prince or princess because Charles is not yet king. Once Charles is king, they will automatically be upgraded, if you like, to the status of prince and princess. The Queen, however, as you quite correctly said, could step in and she could issue letters patent to issue all children of the heir to the throne, children to be of princely status, which would then obviously make their children prince and princesses. Otherwise, they would be styled the daughter or sons of a duke. Rodney Jackson says, hello from New Jersey. Nice to be back. Oh, welcome back too. Jamie says, 4 names makes no sense. Of course it makes no sense. Monarchy, in a way, kind of makes no sense. But we like it. And I would personally like to go back to 4 names. But who am I? And it's personal choice. There you go. Vilma says, I am from Brazil. And we are all anxious to accompany the prince's marriage party and Meghan. Well, we haven't seen any of the stag do's or hen do's yet, so I don't think we'll get to see those with intimate detail. We might find out what's happened, but I don't think we'll get to see any photos of that. But yes, the actual wedding day. In fact, I had this question last week about is any hype starting to build up, and yes, because on Monday there is going to be a program, I think it's ITV, about the wedding that's kind of preparing us. So I think the hype is starting in the UK. Although I still think there'll be a massive flurry at the end. It's not the British way to get all obsessed and excited about something on the run-up. It usually happens, on the day of. People tend to get quite excited then. Melody says, I read an article that said it's possible Meghan will wear a new tiara at the wedding. I read the same one. I think the article cited Sarah Ferguson as the predecessor for receiving a new one. Well, also, yes, Sarah Ferguson did have a new one, the York tiara, created for her. And Sophie Wessex had a new one gifted too, which may or may not have been made from jewels from Queen Victoria's circlet has been mooted. But I'm not entirely sure if that's correct or not. I did look up Queen Victoria's circlet and I don't really see any similarity in the jewel shape, but I didn't look at a very clear photograph. In fact, I don't think there is a particularly clear photograph of Queen Victoria's circlet, although there is the empty frame. But when I looked at the stones, they don't kind of seem to match. But who am I to know? I am not a jeweler. But regardless, yes, it is possible that Meghan may have a new tiara. Don't forget, we have so many of Princess Diana's own jewels which have not seen the light of day yet. Catherine hasn't worn them. Presumably, they are split 50-50 between William and Harry. Harry himself is never going to wear them, is he? I would wear them, but Harry's probably not. So some of those jewels could potentially be made into a tiara for Meghan, which could happen. I don't know. Or she could wear one of the royal family tiaras, and the ones that are vacant, amongst others, but the most likely are probably going to be the Strathmore Rose tiara or the Tech Crescent tiara. But again, that's something that we are eagerly awaiting to see, and I can't wait. Then again, there is the possibility she may wear no tiara, and she may just have flowers, or just nothing and just have a veil. We will have to wait and see. Stacey Land says, I picked Louis. Well done for picking Louis. Lynn J says, I was in love with a drummer called Louis for years. And I'm not sure, Pat, what time the wedding will air US time. But, I think for most places in the US, aren't you 8 hours behind in certain areas? You'll have to check. You don't want to miss it. Okay, Vilma has posted in, is that Spanish? Shall I try and read it? Please excuse my pronunciation. Grande Promesas para o rindo da Inglaterra com as novas mudanças implantadas. Parabéns aos noivos a digníssima Rainha Elizabeth. Sua família e parabéns ao seu canal. I have no idea, but I've just repeated it. There you go. That's my Spanish lesson. CH says, hi, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Vinny Blair says, I can't believe I spoke Spanish. Vinny Blair says, Royal Reviewer, I think the person was talking specifically of an Irish title. Prince Andrew, etc., all have English titles and Irish titles. Yes, they do. So there could be a subsidiary title they're known as, a Scottish title and an Irish title. Maybe. Who knows? It could be that title. Jamie says, don't worry, they will name one after Michael. She still has a few to come out of her. I definitely think one more. I'm predicting one more royal baby from William and Catherine. I don't think we're done at 3. Moon Mom says, hello, everyone. I wanted Albert, but Louis is growing on me. First Mrs. R says, when William got married, he attached the L, which means the driver is a student driver to Prince Charles, that the Cambridges drove off it. Yes, he did. Oh, you're saying that's what he did. Yes. And the princes played, I suppose, a joke on Charles too, when they put lots of cans and streamers and kinds of things on their wedding car after they left Windsor to go on honeymoon. Hello to Jessica. Aha, I think Vilma has posted the English version. Shall I read it again? Great promises to the reign of England with the new changes implemented. Congratulations to the bride and groom, the worthy Queen Elizabeth, your family, and congratulations to your channel. Thank you so much. Why did I not know that from the Spanish version? CH says, when will the public get an official picture of baby Louis? In their own time. Usually we have had photographs taken by Catherine. That's been the usual course that they've taken. Catherine has taken a photograph and released it when they want. There is no official date on it. And then usually there may be some official photographs taken by a photographer, a proper photographer, in due course. But we'll definitely probably get an official photograph, if not before, for Prince Louis's first birthday in a year's time. But expect something from Catherine at some point. Lynn says, then my partner had a cute dog called Louis, who actually was female. Well, there you go. Ken ATL says, Diana has a royal standard with the ermine border for members of the royal family without a personal standard. Or maybe I should get an ermine trim, attach it. Okay, Mariana says, I like Louis, but am I the only one who is rooting for Albert or Philip? Well, I was liking Albert, but Prince Bertie would have been good. CH says, will Prince Harry wear a wedding band? And if he does, who will design it? Well, Prince Charles wears a wedding band. William chose not to. Again, it will be up to personal choice of Harry, and we don't know until we see whether they do an exchange of rings. Lynn J says, it's nice they called him Louis after Lord Mountbatten because he was murdered in a cruel way by the IRA. And that was so traumatic for the whole family and the children who died. Ingrid says, any news about where Harry and Meghan will honeymoon? No, but there was speculation after I commented that it could be Africa. Possibly Namibia has been suggested. But yes, I think it's likely Africa because Harry has commented that he feels most natural and at home in Africa, and Meghan has connections with Africa too. So I'm predicting Africa, but we don't know officially. Like many things, we have to wait until an official release, or maybe we won't even know until they get back from honeymoon. Soil says, cost a lot to look this cheap. You look simply dashing, Elliot. Love your looks. Thank you so much. And yes, it does cost a lot to look this cheap. James Medford says, any news on the wedding dress designer? TV is saying Kate's dress cost 400,000. I remember at the time 100,000 being said. Well, we aren't party to the cost of the dress, but what has been kind of thought is a Ralph and Russo dress for the actual gown, and possible Erdem bridesmaids dresses or an Erdem evening gown for Meghan. Now that is not confirmed, but we do know that those two designers have taken on extra PR, and Erdem has taken the PR in-house, suggesting a flurry of PR. And as those were designers that were kind of mentioned, expected anyway, it kind of fits that Ralph and Russo and Erdem are going to have something to do with the wedding. But we don't know which way around, what combination. I think probably likely a Ralph and Russo wedding gown, Erdem bridesmaids dresses, possibly a Ralph and Russo evening gown. Because don't forget, Catherine had a different evening gown that she changed into for the evening reception. But again, we don't know. It is speculation. Sheila White says Mountbatten was very close to Philip and Charles. He was also a war hero. Louis is a good name in the royal family. Ryan says, hello to all. We are excited for the royal wedding, as am I. James Medford says, did you see Prince George put his arm around Charlotte in the doorway of the hospital? Yes, but was it a putting an arm around or was it a shove? There was close-up footage, and some people are saying it looked more like a shove. Some people are saying it looked more like a guiding hand. I'm not entirely sure. It did look a little bit maybe shovey to me, but maybe that's just little boisterous George. But Charlotte most certainly was a cutie walking up those steps of the Lindo wing. Wasn't she cute? I mean, and adorable. And she's got the royal wave down to a T. Yes, she's certainly confident, and she's not really very shy at all. In fact, I thought she was completely adorable. Candice says, do I see a new addition to your little side table? And yes, it is one of the tea towels that Marilyn sent me. It is the Harry and Meghan wedding tea towel. Rodney says, I'm hoping they have twins. That would be good if they did. 2 in 1 go. 2 for the price of 1. Sue Miller says, I thought that Prince Philip might have been chosen. I was thinking maybe Philip somewhere in there, but no. Do any of the younger generation have his name? Well, George and Charlotte certainly don't. Although they could have had Philippa for Charlotte, couldn't they? They could. Philippa would have been quite a good choice, and also it could have honoured Catherine's sister. So maybe if they have another girl, maybe Philippa could be used. There you go. What a prediction. Arnold Sanders says, I thought William wanted to call the baby Jack. He was joking. He wasn't going to say Jack. I would say that is fake news. This is my fake news fan, by the way. Do you like it? Every time I hear fake news, there is going to be a fake news snap from me. What do you think? Welcome to the fake news fan. Ain't That says, how likely is it that we will get an infant prince or princess, Eliz or Philip? Possibly, but possibly when Queen Elizabeth is no longer with us, maybe. But I would like to see an Elizabeth. Oh, we have had a super chat donation. Let's have a look. Tiffany Hoffman, thank you so much, has donated $5 to the chat. So thank you so much. And Tiffany's question is, will Princess Eugenie get a public wedding like William and Harry? Well, I think it's more likely that she will have a wedding in the style of Zara. So they may choose a royal venue, but I don't think it will be televised. Although there's no reason why they couldn't even sell the rights to the wedding if they really wanted to. But I don't think they will. I think it will be a private ceremony inside. I think we are likely to see the comings and goings from the steps, or the entrance and exit, as we did for Zara's. But I don't think we'll get any, a televised wedding. But of course, we will probably get some released wedding photographs, some official photographs, I would imagine. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to find some questions. Sue Miller says, oh, we've already said about Prince Philip. James Medford says, I think it's called A Queen is Crown. I'm not quite sure what that comment's saying. The First Mrs. R says, I agree. I think H&M will have a baby by the time they reach their first anniversary. Most definitely. Busy Brain says, are they prepping her to be queen? Who? Are we talking about Catherine or Meghan? But Meghan most likely will never be able to be queen because everyone has been pushed down the line of succession since the birth of royal baby number 3, Prince Louis, who is currently 5th in line to the throne, and everyone else has been pushed down, shunted down one place. Nora Cherry says, hello, happy week for the Cambridges. Charlotte stole the show outside the hospital. What a charmer she is indeed. CH says, will Harry and Meghan release one honeymoon pic so the press will leave them in privacy? It's doubtful. They will probably have some kind of deal. Well, okay, maybe they could hammer out a deal to release one photo once they're back, but I don't think we'll see anything while they're there. Or they could just try and do it completely in privacy. Jamie says, did you just say monarchy makes no sense? Catch me if I faint. On the face of it, yeah, monarchy, a country doesn't need to have monarchy. It's nice to have. It's a nice thing to have. And I much prefer the British system of governance and a monarchy-based government than any other. I do think it's better. I think it works better. I think it offers more. And it's a nicer thing to have. And it offers that extra bit of, I suppose, pride in the country. But it's not essential. No country has to have monarchy, as lots of republics have proven. But I certainly don't want to see Britain go down the route of a republic. No Oliver Cromwell's. Rebellions stay down. But I prefer the system of monarchy. And I certainly don't want to see it end. OAM Fanny says, I believe I read only today that the Queen has changed the rule to include her great-grandchildren as prince and princesses after the birth. I haven't heard that. So I am going to say that that is fake news. Donna Pape says, it's blocked here because of copyrights. What's... Oh, mate, buy it on DVD. You're talking about the Coronation. I think it's available on DVD. James Medford says, ABC in the USA will start at 5 a.m. Eastern Time and will begin with coverage from Windsor with the Good Morning America team. Well, there you go. You know a lot more about when it's broadcast in your country than what I do. Jojo says, it costs a lot to look this cheap. Elliot, you're hilarious. Thank you. Well, it's true. Valerie says, I've tried YouTube. They don't have it. I will try the other and let you know. Try Amazon. I definitely think there's a DVD. Vilma says, I leave here a prediction that the bride and groom will gather on an island paradise. Confirm me later if I'm right. I feel this good energy. I'm thinking Africa, but a paradise island? Why not? Eileen says, you would look fabulous in Diana's jewels. I would. And if Meghan isn't going to wear them, if Catherine isn't going to wear them, I know somebody who will. The First Mrs. R says, looking at the cardboard cutout, it's funny how uncomfortable H&M looked when they announced their engagement and how comfortable they are now when they make appearances. Yeah, I mean, they've got the eyes of the media on them, the eyes of the world on them. Who wouldn't feel slightly nervous? Busy Brain says, Need help? Seriously, don't feed the monkey. What monkey? Ain't That says, any insider information concerning Prince Philip's state of health? If you've heard anything, then it must be fake news, because we haven't had any official updates on his health, and anything you may have heard to the contrary is just speculation and probably fake news. But we can probably say that no news is good news, and he's recovering. Oh, actually, there is something I know. Tell a lie. I do know something. On Twitter, somebody posted a card, and it was a thank you card for a card that they'd sent wishing Philip good health. And it did say, thank you for your card, and Philip is making good recovery, or words to that effect. So he's on the mend. And if you've heard anything to the contrary, like I said, it's fake news. The first Mrs. R says, New York City is 6 hours behind. I think coverage starts in New York at 4 or 5 a.m. Eastern time. Wow, that's early. Francesca B says, lots of laughter, perfect Spanish. It was perfect, wasn't it? I've got a degree in Spanish. Diana says, in the US, Pacific time is 8 hours behind London time. There you go. That's what I was thinking. Central time is 6 hours and Eastern time is 5 hours behind London time. Well, there you go. But please, wherever you are in the world, check your times and make sure that it's the right time for you, because I certainly do not know everyone's time about when it's going to be shown. So do your checks. OAM Fanny says, any possibility Meghan's coat of arms could be given to her mother as Raglan family or Raglan Markle? I think her father may be given something, but again, we'll find out. The Middletons were given a coat of arms. And through the family tree, I think they did make a link between, was it Thomas Markle? I think it was the Markles rather than the Raglans. Some kind of link to aristocracy. So it's possible that her father may get a coat of arms. Mariana says, you did not speak Spanish. You spoke Portuguese. Ah, there you go. It was Portuguese, not Spanish. And I've never spoken Portuguese before. Saul says, I can't see wedding in TV where we live. You will have to keep on looking, but of course I will try and put lots of clips together that I can. Eileen says, I would love to see Meghan or Catherine wear Queen Victoria's sapphire coronet one day. Wouldn't we all? That would be amazing. Okay, I'm just going up to go back to where the questions are. Okay, James Med 4 says, I agree, one more baby for the Cambridges. Zara's baby will be here soon. Yes, and I definitely think one more for the Cambridges. Alexandra says, all British royal family, God is our law. God send the path. Vinny Blair says, Prince William talks as if he would have preferred 2 children. I remember him telling someone, no twins, 4 would drive me crazy. But I can't remember him saying that. But I think, when you're a new father, you think, multiplying what you've already got is quite a scary thought. I would imagine. I'm not a father. But I can imagine that he would have said that perhaps at the time. But, when you get used to it and you know the routine and you know the drill, he's probably eased into fatherhood and, what's one more? The first Mrs. R says, do you know what I love to see Meghan wear at the wedding? Diana's lovely sapphire choker. I think the pearls with deep blue stone would look so wonderful on her. Well, it's something old and it's something blue and it's something borrowed. So it could tick quite a few of the boxes, I agree. But it is quite a central piece. So maybe she wouldn't go for that. It would look amazing if she got like a really high collar dress, and then that blue sapphire popping out. I agree, it would look good. Soil says, in 2 years from now, Catherine will be pregnant for the 4th baby. In your belief? Eileen says, will Meghan stay at Royal Lodge, Windsor the night before the wedding? Now, there's been some speculation about where she might stay. It's possible she could stay at Windsor Castle. Then again, it's also possible Royal Lodge, but that is the Duke of York's home, so he would obviously have to extend an invitation to her. It's also possible Frogmore. She could possibly be staying at Frogmore, and I still think that Frogmore could be a potential future home for Harry and Meghan. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Oh dear, says, open the gift. I can't wait any longer. Curiosity is killing the cat. Well, let me just get a few more questions done, then I'll open it. I promise not to tease for too long. Jamie says, did Mountbatten not see how dangerous it was for such a famous royal to be holidaying in Ireland in the height of the Troubles? Again, you know, who knows what was going through the mind? He obviously thought it was safe, or else he wouldn't have gone. You know, I certainly don't think he was expecting it. Let's put it that way, or else he would not have gone and would not have got in the boat. Candice says that over-the-shoulder money shot and wave from little Charlotte at the hospital was priceless. She seems very outgoing, while little George is quite shy. George seems quite like William, I think, and Charlotte is a lot more forthcoming. Perhaps a little bit of Prince Philip in Charlotte. Candice says, I can almost hear George say, don't like dographers, as his dad said at the same age. Possibly. Hello to Oif Maria. Have I said that correct? I don't know. Ingrid says, yes, that was priceless. I've never seen one photo with George smiling. I think I'm sure I've seen him smiling before. Francesca says, do I think Zara is going? Yes, more than likely. So Mrs. R says, between Harry, William, Eugenie, and maybe Zara, I think there might be a royal baby every year for the next 7 to 10 years. What a prediction. And wouldn't that be good if it was true? Vinny Blair says, Meghan has very simple taste in jewellery. She may personally prefer no tiara, which is something I've considered. I hope someone reminds her that a royal wedding is all about spectacle. We also need a worthy dress for St. George's. I'm hoping for a tiara, but we can't rule out that she might not wear one at all. Jojo says, perfect Spanish, Elliot. King Felipe of Spain's got nothing on you. Well, I've just found out it was Portuguese. Ive Maria says, I have been forced on slow mode. Oh, no, everyone's limited to one comment every 30 seconds. It's a trial. I'm trialing it, so not just you in slow mode. Eileen says, love the fake news snap. There you go. I bought it especially. Arnold Sanders is laughing. Ingrid says, love the fan. Ife Maria says, Elliot, you look gorgeous and dapper as always. Thank you so much. Diana says, love the fake news fan. Fifth Miss R says, speaking as a firstborn, I think it was a shove. And yes, Charlotte already knows how to charm the press with that little look over the shoulder and wave. She's a professional. Oh dear says, the official fake news fan flap. There you go. It's my fake news fan. I thought you'd like it. James Medford says, did you see the clergy member at the Abbey trying to talk to Prince William into the name Alexander? Yes. And he said he was still working on the name, didn't he? And did you see Prince William almost nodding off, falling asleep? That was actually quite cute. Yes, he was in an official on an official engagement, and he was in a service, and he was falling asleep, well, pretty much falling asleep. But you can understand, because having a new baby, he'd be tired, and the fact that he probably hasn't had much sleep maybe goes to show that maybe he was doing nappies in the night and getting up. We know that Catherine likes to be hands-on. Yes, they have a nanny, but I can imagine them both actually trying to do some things for themselves, especially with a newborn. If Maria says His Royal Highness Henry of Wales, Prince Henry of Wales, is now considered a minor royal. Well, he's what, sixth in line to the throne now? I believe he's sixth. I wouldn't say that's a minor royal. You know, he's still going to be eventually the son of a king. So I wouldn't quite say he's a minor royal yet. Marilyn Blythe, hello to you, says, hello everyone. I'm getting a mani and pedi while I watch. Well, good for you. I wish I was having a manicure and a pedicure while I'm here now. Oh dear says, George always has a sullen scowl on his face. I think he's shy. I think he's a bit shy too. Jojo says, I love the fake news fan. The first Mrs. says, fake news fan for the win. I'm sure I will be flapping and flapping my fake news fan with all the fake news out there. Ingrid says, oh dear, yes, I know some photos of him. He looks scary. Rita is from Cincinnati. Hello to you. Jamie says, Prince Andrew's reaction to the royal baby. Damn, I'm never going to be king. I think by now he already knows that anyway. If Maria says, Elliot, you look gorgeous and dapper as always. Thank you so much. I think I've already read a similar comment. M says, Jamie, I agree. Mountbatten should have taken more care. Hello to you, M, or should that be B? The first Mrs. R says, now that Andrew is seventh in line to the throne, I don't think he needs the Queen's permission to remarry. Am I right about that? If so, there may be a remarriage in the works. Double wedding with Eugenie. Of course, yes, there's speculation that now that he doesn't need officially the Queen's permission, although I'm sure he'd probably get advice from the Queen, technically he's free without having to ask permission to remarry Sarah Ferguson, should they wish. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Sorry to disappoint. Certainly not while Philip is still around, and maybe not even while the Queen is still around. Again, they may surprise us, but I don't think so. I think Sarah and Andrew are quite used to the situation that they're in. I think they are a couple. I do. I don't think that they're not a couple. I think they like having the freedom of not being married. Although, as I've said before in the past, I think for Sarah, even though it would be giving up some freedom technically to remarry back into the family, I think she would get or gain some security in life and not have to worry about earning an income. So I think there would be some benefits for Sarah of rejoining, but also, you know, some negatives in the fact that she would be expected to do royal duties again. Who knows what they're thinking? We will have to wait. Ingrid says, did I have my chips today, my fish and chips? Yes, I did. I did have fish and chips today. And some mushy peas on the side. Jojo says, Marilyn Blythe, what a great idea. Enjoy. I wish it was me getting the mani and pedi. Sandy says, hi, Elliot, doing laundry and watching. I've done my laundry as well today. Marilyn says, has anyone watched the Meghan 100 Day special? It's here on YouTube. Very good. Now, I'm not sure if that's the one that I saw last week. I don't know, because maybe it's been renamed in other countries. But the one I watched was really, really good about Prince Harry and Meghan's relationship. I haven't seen any others in the UK. But one documentary I did watch this week that I filmed from in the week that I played last night was the Camilla documentary, The Real Camilla. It was called The Real Camilla. And it's basically all the kind of stuff that I've been saying about Camilla over the past 2 years of my live chats and on my channel. So I thought it was a really good and fair documentary about Camilla. So if you want to see a good documentary about Camilla, an accurate one, then go and seek out The Real Camilla. It was very, very good. It showed footage of cameras following her around over a whole year, people very close to her speaking out, friends and family. And it just showed what I've been saying. It proved what I've been saying as well. And even down to the bit where I've said on many occasions that the real reason for Charles and Diana's marriage breakdown was actually because Charles and Diana were very similar in the fact that they were both very needy people. And because they both had the same kind of needs and emotional traumas, they both weren't able to give each other what they needed, which, you know, fair enough. Sometimes, people that are similar attract, and then they find that they are too similar to be able to help each other. And I think that's what happened. And Charles made a comment in this documentary saying that Camilla is a really good listener, and that she can get any information out of anyone because she's a fantastic listener. And that goes to show me that perhaps she's had to listen a fair few times to Charles. And I think probably all of the issues he may have had, Camilla was there to be steadfast and strong and a good listener. Diana also needed someone to be a good listener. And unfortunately, Charles wasn't the one who was able to give her that, because he needed that too. I actually think that, the marriage breakdown perhaps could have been even quicker, even sooner, had it not been for Camilla's presence in the relationship. Because at least with Charles being slightly more stable because of the presence of Camilla, it may have prolonged the marriage longer than it naturally would have lasted for. But yes, I think the documentary was very fair and very accurate on Camilla. So if you want to see a good documentary about Camilla, watch that one, because it was good. Nora, there has not been any official update on Philip's condition, although I did see a letter from the palace to somebody who sent a get well soon card saying that he was recovering. So no news is good news. Right, I think I've missed a few comments. Let's go back up. Eileen said, Prince Philip looked wonderful walking to the car following his discharge from hospital. I didn't see him walk into the car. If you've seen a shot of him walking to the car, please let me know. If Maria says, you love my voice. Thank you so much. Cynthia says, wondering whether Prince Harry will be in uniform. Yes, but we don't know which one. The Queen certainly has big opinions on it. We don't know what they are, but she certainly had opinions on William's outfit. He wanted a different outfit. She wanted blues and royals. He ended up in blues and royals. I'm thinking, and I know Jamie disagrees, but I'm thinking he may go for the Royal Marines uniform. Jamie thinks it's too black. I know he does, but I think that's the one that he might go for. But maybe the Queen will have other ideas. First Mrs. R says, Madagascar would be both African and an island paradise. It would make for a very nice honeymoon. There you go, Madagascar it could be. Jamie says, to be fair, in your 97th year, you never really are on the mend. Healing at that age takes time, and I think he will be trying his best to get back to health, I'm sure. Sue says, are the Yorks getting back together? Not that we know of. Were they ever apart? It's that kind of thing. We don't know officially is the real answer. Rita Barolis says, I watched the first 100 days. It was nicely done. I like the fan. Thank you so much. Maria says, Elliot, unsure if my comments are visible to you. Yes, they are. I am reading them. Jamie says, what does it actually mean to have a coat of arms? Doesn't every family have one? Not every family has one. You have to have, I think the criteria is some kind of historical link, or you have to be of some kind of prominent family. If you already had a family crest that was gifted by a monarch or in the past, then if you can trace that your family has links to that coat of arms, then you can apply to have one. I think you have to go through some kind of genealogical official people. I can't remember the exact name, but there are an official there is an official place you can go to, and they trace your family history. You can pay to have it traced, or you can trace it yourself and then submit it. And then if it's found that you do have a link or a reason to have one created, then you can do so. I also think if you pay a lot of money, you can have one created. I'm sure it works that way as well. But yes, you can claim one if you can prove you have a link back to it. Sharon Hill says, hello from Philadelphia. I love your channel. Thank you so much. And hello to everyone in Philadelphia. W. Bovgriav, I'm going to call you W, says, Meghan Markle's full birth name should have been printed on the wedding invitation. It's a major event. I did wonder that myself. I still think at the ceremony, you're going to see a Rachel marrying a Henry, but it was announced that they intend to be known after the wedding as Harry and Meghan. So the invitation, I suppose, if you're going to the evening reception, they'd already be married. And yes, I kind of agree with you. I do think perhaps Rachel should have been used. I would have preferred that. But if they're going to be intended to carry on being Harry and Meghan after the wedding, it kind of makes sense to put it on the invitation. But I would have liked the official. First Mrs. R says, one of Markle's grands or great-grandparents allegedly worked at Windsor Castle. I heard that too. And I'm not going to snap my fan because I've read that story, and when I read it, it didn't seem particularly fake. So I'm going to go with that one. I am not going to snap my fan. Rita says, the links are to Robert the Bruce and the Queen Mother Elizabeth. I watched the piece on CBS for Meghan and Harry. Well, there you go. I haven't traced the family tree all the way back, so I will accept that and go with it. But I did hear most definitely that there was links back to the royal family. So a crest and a coat of arms could be on the cards. Jamie says, Meghan Markle's great-great-grandmother was a royal maid at Windsor. Well, there you go. And yes, please hit the like button. And wow, there's 177 watching. Wow. Valerie Matthews says, okay, just went through Amazon and there is nothing about the interview with the Queen. The interview? The Queen has never given an interview. Do you mean were you looking for the coronation? If so, I definitely thought I saw it on Amazon. But the Queen has definitely not given an interview. And if you mean the Queen's Green Planet, that will not be out yet anyway. Vinny Blair says, Royal Lodge Windsor, hardly likely. Frogmore, very likely. I'm thinking Frogmore. Eileen says, I'm worried about the wind on the steps of St. George's. Poor Sophie had a terrible time. Maybe Meghan's dress will be weighted. Rita Brolly says, I like when they caught Prince George putting an arm around his little sister's shoulder and guiding to where her mum was. Was it a guide or was it a shove? Shall we spill the royal tea? I'm saying it was a shove. First Mrs. R says, I'm curious where Frogmore House lies in relation to all of the graves. It's right next to it. It's pretty much right next to it. I'm sure it's a lovely place, but I might not be able to get past living in a graveyard. It's incredibly close. It's kind of within those grounds. But it's all, there's all trees and stuff around. So you're not going to be doing your washing up in the kitchen window and overlooking Victoria's mausoleum. Swoyle says, I like slow mode, gives also a bit more time to read comments. That was the idea, and I may or may not increase it to 60 seconds next week. We'll see how it goes. Let me know how you feel about the 30 seconds. Rita says, I have a vote for Frogmore for the night before and for their royal residence. I heard that Prince Andrew doesn't like Meghan. What is your thoughts? Oh my goodness. Snap. Fake news. How do we know that Prince Andrew doesn't like Meghan? Fake, 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 fake. Most definitely fake. Of course, he's never expressed a personal opinion on Meghan, which is why it's fake news. And if he had have done, it would have been everywhere in the UK media, and it's not. So I don't know where you've heard it from, but it's fake news. Candice says, I agree. Slow mode is a very good idea. Does it need to be slower? Let me know. Vinny Blair says, with all the new titles and duties Prince Harry is getting and his father to be king, no way would he be considered a minor royal. I would agree. Jamie says, speaking of minor royals, who knew they were allowed to swim naked at Buckingham Palace? I knew I saw a shadow through the window there. Right, I am going to tentatively do a fake news snap, because the article that Jamie's referring to is one of Lady Gabriella Windsor, the daughter of Prince Michael and Princess Michael of Kent, ex-boyfriend from the early 2000s, around about 2003, who has spilled the tea, or allegedly spilled the tea. So I'm calling it a fake news scam because it's an alleged response. We don't know whether it's true or not. But I will tell you anyway. So the ex-boyfriend of Lady Gabriella Windsor has said that when they were dating, they used to swim with no clothes on in the Buckingham Palace pool. And that they used to do MDMA, which is a drug, at Kensington Palace. Now, we don't know whether that's true. Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace have all refused to comment on it. So we don't know. We can't say one way or the other whether it's true or not, whether this ex-boyfriend is just trying to make money and sell stories. We really don't know. But so that's why I'm going to tentatively do a fake news snap. But we don't know, is all I'm saying. But there you go. That is the story. Ingrid says, thank you for the mention of the real Camilla documentary. Is it on Netflix? I haven't looked. I only have Netflix for when The Crown is out. But you can have a look, certainly. But it really was a good documentary. If you can find it, I would recommend watching. Marilyn says, I watched the Camilla one too. It's on YouTube. Oh, well, there you go. It's on YouTube. So do have a look before it gets taken off YouTube, I would imagine. Busy Brain says, I'd rather watch Camilla. Linda P. Golan says, speaking of Camilla, what is the opinion in the UK of Tracy Ullman's impression of the Duchess? I think it's, personally, because I do have a sense of humour, I think it's hilarious too. And I actually think that if Camilla watched it, I think Camilla would think it's hilarious too. I think she has the sort of personality where she would find that funny. I find it funny. I think most people would find it funny too. Eileen says, Elliot, I think you're spot on in your analysis of Charles, Diana and Camilla dynamics. It's an opinion I've held for a while, and I think it's true. And the Camilla documentary, with what Charles was saying about Camilla, to me, proves that I'm right. There we go. Swoyle says, it's sad Charles and Camilla had to go through the royal road and what it did to Diana. Clearly, Charles and Camilla have been in love for a lifetime, whatever love means. And the whole irony of the whole situation is that had Diana lived, we could be in a situation now where both parties are happy and settled. We could have had Charles and Camilla happy, married, settled, and we could have had Diana with somebody else, a new partner, maybe more children. It's just really, really sad that it ended the way that it did for Diana. And ultimately, if we say that the car crash was a fixed point in time, regardless of what happened at the lead up to the car crash, the fact of the matter is, if Diana had worn her seatbelts, if she herself would have chosen to have put her seatbelt on, I probably wouldn't be sat here now having the conversation about Diana in a car accident. Or at least, we'd have perhaps been speaking about the recovery of Diana from a car accident, because experts have said, had she worn one, that she probably wouldn't have died from her injuries. So yes, I think, it could have been very different. We could have been sat here with two very happy stories from the divorce. But as it happens, that's why Camilla gets a lot of stick, because people sometimes, can't see the real truth that the marriage was doomed from the start because they were so similar. And like I say, that's not wrong. It's not wrong to be needy and to have needs and to have had issues in the past. But if you've got those issues and those needs, choosing the right partner for you is essential for that marriage to work. And unfortunately, Charles and Diana didn't choose the right partnership for them. And that's basically the crux of it. H.M. the King says, Oif is Irish. It's pronounced Aoife. Oh, well, there you go. Aoife. Aoife. Nora Cherry says, I am probably going to stir the pot. Do you think Andrew and Fergie will ever remarry? Let's cast some shade on it. I'm going to say, like I said before, that it's possible. I don't think so in Philip and the Queen's lifetime. I think it would be easier for Fergie to remarry back into the royal family, but I don't think so yet. Jamie says, with regards to the Royal Marines uniform, unless it's the green service uniform and not the formal one. The formal is dark and St George's is really dark, so I'm not sure if it would look great on camera. Again, the Queen, I'm leaving that one to the Queen. The Queen will have, I'm sure, a big opinion of it. And yes, he will be a knight in shining armour. History Hardy says the wedding would specify formal day dress. Ingrid says, I wondered sometimes if Catherine and Meghan are slightly mothering and if William and Harry looked for this trait in a wife. What does anyone think about this? Well, I think they're both strong characters. Catherine proved she was a strong character when she effectively split with William for that period of time. She called his bluff, and I think you have to be pretty strong to do that. And of course, Catherine comes from a family of strong females. Meghan comes from a family of strong females. So yes, they are slightly mothering, and with having the loss of your own mother, it makes sense that they may want partners that make them feel comforted, almost like a mother. But like I say, that kind of dynamic works. George VI with Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, was slightly mothering and comforting. Charles with Camilla wants someone a bit of a mother, slightly comforting. And it makes sense that William and Harry would probably follow suit because of the loss of their own mother. First Mrs. R says, so since the monarchy is now abolished primogeniture, would Charlotte become the Duchess of York one day? No, it's unlikely that Charlotte would become Duchess of York. It could be that the York title is passed on to down the female line, but we haven't got there yet. I don't think there has been any decree on if it can be passed down directly to the female line. The crown can, and the line of succession has been altered so that male primogeniture has ended. But we don't know when it comes to dukedom titles or earldom titles, or in fact any titles for that matter. We haven't got there. I don't believe there is anything in place in case that happens, just the same as there isn't anything in place should there be a same-sex marriage within the royal family. I think it's one of those things that they will wait to see when it happens, although obviously with the Duke of York, it's inevitable that is going to happen. But certainly Charlotte is probably more likely to be made the Princess Royal once the Princess Royal passes on, because of course the Princess Royal will be the Princess Royal for life. But once she has passed away, that title does revert to the crown, and I don't believe can be passed on. So Charlotte is more than likely in line to be made the Princess Royal when she gets older. If she marries, there's the potential that her husband could be given a dukedom or indeed an earldom, and she would be known as Countess or Duchess of whatever. But I would imagine that her main title would be the Princess Royal once that becomes vacant. Busy Brain says, funny, Meghan does not strike me as a motherly whatsoever. Go figure. I think she would be. And I think if we look at her motherly tendencies when it comes to children in Africa, when you see her when she was on her solo engagements before Harry, when she used to visit Africa, she was very, very good with the children. Marion Blythe says, I don't like fake news, but I love a good fake news snap. Snap a game, please. Okay. I will give you a snap just for you, Marilyn. Fake news. Busy Brain says she seems into worldly things. She is, but I also think she's slightly motherly too. You'll have to hold me to that, but I think she will come across more motherly. I can see it. History Hardy says, so glad all the awful racist comments are being deleted, thanks to our moderator. Yes, thank you to Jamie, who does a wonderful job each week. Wendy is listening in from France. Jamie says, do you want to see the fake snap again? Ingrid says, in my mum's day, if a woman had been married before, she would never wear a white dress. For a second marriage, rather cream or another colour. I like this idea. I've obviously heard of that too, but I somehow think Meghan will want crisp white. Jamie says, the Queen admitted to having a relationship with Attenborough. Oh my goodness. Fake news. Oh my goodness, that's fake news. Oh, spill the tea. Yes, fake news. Fake. And I know Jamie just did that to get a fan snap. Nora says, Elliot, have you ever been to Frogmore Mausoleum? No, but I would like to go. If ever I'm in Windsor, that's something you've got to do as well, is Frogmore. Soliada says, is it true that Pippa Middleton is also having a baby? I do believe so, yes. I'm not going to give that a fake news snap. Although I haven't looked at it properly, but I don't think it's fake. The first Mrs. R says, Ingrid, I think William found Catherine's happy, stable family attractive. And I wonder if Henry was attracted to Meghan in part because she could emphasise with being raised by a single parent. It's possible, but whatever the reason, there was certainly an attraction that was very different to his other previous girlfriends, Cressida and Chelsea. Cynthia Lewis says, is it fake news that Princess Michael is not invited? I would go fake news. Definitely fake news, because we do not have an official guest list. So I don't know where your source is about who is saying it. So I'm going to say fake news because there wouldn't be a reason why not. Yes, we had the whole brooch scandal over Christmas, but I don't think that would necessarily be a reason not to invite her. I don't think we're going to see any royal snubs. I don't think. Rita says, I agree that Rachel should have been on the invitation, but it still looked lovely. It did indeed. Jamie says, imagine if the Queen walked in on them swimming. Maybe she joined in too. No, the palace pool is open to staff as well. And it has been for a number of years. So I'm not entirely sure whether they would have been naked in it, or whether there are private times for royals to go in the pool. I don't know. Princess Anne is a big user of the Buckingham Palace swimming pool when she's in town. So I don't know. I'm tentatively saying fake news for that whole story, but it could be true. You know, we do not know what goes on behind the palace doors. Candice says, I wonder what the minor royals think of being called minor royals. And probably one is not amused. Vinny Blair says, poor Lady Gabriella, you lie with dogs, you rise with fleas. Definitely spill the tea. Giggles. And yes, Diana did survive the impact, but the injuries would have been less with the seatbelt, or that's what was said anyway. Keontae Gent says, thank you for keeping it real. I try. Marin says, love Meghan. All the haters have to shut their mouths. Rita says, Charles and Diana, didn't even look comfortable together. I'm glad they had their two boys. Busy Brain says, can I say blood? I can say blood. Leslie says, Elliot, you are amazing. Love this chat so much. Thanks. I'm loving this. From Australia. And yes, Kimberly, I was just thinking about my Amazon opening. Shall I do it now? Jamie says, Princess Anne is a big user. Does she follow the dress code? I don't think she goes naked in the pool. Tiffany Star says, I think the Yorks had an arrangement since he was often at sea for long stretches of time. The issue was she wasn't always so discreet and had to divorce because of the topless pics and the toe sucking, possibly. Okay, I'm going to do the opening now. Like I said, I pre-opened some of these things to make it easier, but I haven't read them. So this came to my PO box address. The link you can find in the description of all my videos, and it's a card, and I can tell already from the little sticker that it is from Mrs. Christine Suckup. So let's see what the card is. Okay, it's a Hallmark card, and it's a happy-go-lucky hay, and it's got a shamrock with a little leprechaun. Oh, something fell out. Okay, what fell out? Something just fell out at me. Oh, it's a tea bag. It's a Twinings 100% pure black tea Prince of Wales tea bag. Discover the light velvety smooth taste of this refined tea. One tea bag. Wow. Brewing instructions. Steep 3 minutes or to desired strength. Ingredients: fine black tea, expertly selected from the Hunan, something I can't pronounce, region of province rather, in China. Wow, Prince of Wales tea. Thank you so much. Yes, a shamrock card. So I presume this was for St. Patrick's Day. Dear Elliot, just wanted to say I love your channel and thank you for everything you do. I have enclosed a little something I hope you will like. Thanks again, Christine, on this happy-go-lucky day. Christine, thank you. Thank you so much to Christine for the card and the tea bag. Shall I have that tea bag next week in my drink? And I'm going to put the card there, I think. Hope you can all see that. Okay, what's in the boxes? Shall I start with the big box? Okay. Right. What is this? It is a box. Okay. Okay. I can see it already because I pre-opened it. Wow. Oh my god. Okay, you can't see. It's a Prince Harry. It's one of the new Funkos. Okay, there's leaflets in there. I will read them in a second. It's one of the new Pop Royals Funko. So Funko has made a Pop Royal, and this one is Prince Harry. I'm hoping you can see if I hold it up. And there is one of the Queen, Prince Charles. There's two of Diana, but they've only got one shown here. Prince William, Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, and Prince Harry. And I have the Prince Harry one. They are collector's items, and I put it on my wish list because they look so cool. Now, I will take a close-up photo of that and put it on Patreon so you can all see if you are members of Patreon. But wow, I love my Prince Harry. Vinyl figure. So they're made of vinyl. I don't think they wobble. Do they bobble head? I'm not sure. Wow, thank you so much. Who is it from? Now, Amazon normally put a little... Okay, that's nothing. Oh, Kimberly. A gift note from Kimberly Orr. Thank you so much, Kimberly. Enjoy your gift. I really love your talk of the crown, from Kimberly in Alberta. Thank you so much, Kimberly. I love it. And I'm gonna put it... I know you probably can't see. If I put my Prince Harry there, you can all see him. Wow, thank you so much, Kimberly. That is really, really sweet. Let's go with this one. Okay, what could this be? Well, I gather it's some kind of book. Oh, what did I put on? You know, sometimes I forget what I put on my list. Oh, wow. It's the Quizmaster for the Royal Family. 200 questions all about British royalty by Ginny Hill. It's the quiz book. Welcome to Quizmaster. Quizmaster books are full of curious, fun, and interesting questions. This version contains questions all about the British royal family. Here is a small sampling of what you can expect to find. So it includes questions such as, who was the first British monarch to travel by train? Who was the first member of the royal family to participate in the Olympic Games? What flavour is Queen Mother's cake? Happy quizzing. Wow. So the reason why I put this on my Amazon wish list was because I wanted to do some quizzes. I remember a quiz I did a while ago, the infamous Pregnant Beaver quiz, and I wanted to do more royal quizzes. And this, wow, okay, it's really, really good. So this has lots and lots of questions on the royal family. So if you'd like me to make some quiz videos, or if you want me to include a quiz at the end of each Talk of the Crown, let me know in the comment section below, and I can include some quizzes. Maybe I'll do separate quiz programs. I don't know. Okay, who is this from? Let me see. Oh, it's from Kimberly again. Okay, a gift note from Kimberly. Enjoy your gift. I really love Talk of the Crown, from Kimberly in Alberta. Thank you so much, Kimberly. 2 things from the wish list. Thank you so, so, so much. I really do appreciate it. And we have one more little package. What could it be? Okay, shall I read the... Oh, I can see cards. Okay, let me read the card first. Okay, that's nothing. That's a wine gift order. Okay. Oh, something from 1,000 Flags Limited. Okay. Oh, hang on. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's a British Crown pin. Wow, okay. Let me open it and see. Okay, I don't know who this is from. There's no gift card. So I don't know who it's from. So I can't thank you. It's a little British Crown pin. Look, can you see? Wow. Oh, I like it. I'm going to put it on now. Okay, so whoever you are, I have no idea who you are. So I can't say thank you to you. But do know that I am very thankful for your gift. And if you leave me a comment in this video, if it was you, then I will say thank you next week. And I will say your name. Okay, there we go. I'm wearing it. I love it. Thank you so, whoever you are, thank you so, so much. I don't think your name was on here. No, that's definitely a £60 wine voucher. That's just, you get sent this all the time anyway. So thank you so, so much to my gifts. I really enjoyed opening them, and I can wear this pin quite a lot. Okay, let me go up, because I think I've missed quite a few questions. The first Mrs. R says, I can imagine Her Majesty seeing them skinny dipping and tiptoeing away to knock Prince Philip's door. Do you feel like company tonight, dear? Ingrid says, do I ever want to have children? Yes, I would love to one day, but it's a little bit complicated about how to get them. Pamela Miller says, do you think Harry and Meghan will have children very soon? Yes, most definitely, very, very soon. Marilyn Blythe says, the Camilla special really made me like Camilla even more. She's the kind of person you'd love to have a gym with. I also liked it when she was walking her dog at Dumfries' house. That was a really good scene too. Eileen says, did Harry say that he felt being encouraged to walk in his mother's funeral cortege was tantamount to child abuse? He did make a comment to that extent, yes. And he certainly said that it probably wouldn't happen now. And no, Lulu, you're correct. Not if they've had frontline flea drops on, because they're very good. Busy Brain says, he said no child should ever have to walk that walk. I must agree. Yes, he definitely said that, you know, he didn't like the fact that he was made to do it, and he didn't think that would happen now in today's world. Will Prince Philip be at the wedding? Hopefully, if he's able to attend. I'm really hoping so. Marilyn says, I love an unboxing. Where is Will's? Well, he should be starting paternity leave for a few weeks, actually. Eileen says, I wish I could take you on a day trip to Windsor. It was the highlight of our honeymoon. Someday soon for you. I really am hoping to get out and about more and to make some of those vlogs. History Harley says, yes, more royal quizzes. Angelique Lovely says, Queen Charlotte, who's related to Queen Elizabeth, is said for being mixed race. Okay, I've said this probably on a few occasions, but people may not know. But the Queen Charlotte mixed race business is that I'm sure it was something along the line of, 18 generations in Queen Charlotte's history, in her descendants, about 18 generations previous to her birth, there was some element of mixed race in her family. So it's not quite the same as Meghan Markle, who is directly biracial. Queen Charlotte's biracial background was 18 generations before her. So it's not quite the same thing. But yes, there was an element of mixed race within her heritage, if that makes sense. Rita says, quiz, quiz, quiz. Pamela said, quizzes would be fun. I'd love to read some of them. Lachlan McKay says, hello from Queensland, Australia. A quiz video would be fun. Soil says, that would be fun. I better reread all my royal books. Ken says, the pin is cute. Sharon loves pins. Rita says, yes, Queen Charlotte was part Portuguese and part Moor, wife of King George III, and had 15 children. Cindy likes the pin. Mel says, send me one pin, please. And I'm keeping this one. I like it. James says, awesome gifts and card. Elliot deserves it. It's such fun. Oh, my goodness. There's something I forgot. It's in a drawer. I can't believe I put it in a drawer and left it. Will you all excuse me if I pop off for literally 15 seconds to go and get something? Let me know. If you want to see something, let me know. Okay, where am I? Ken says, that is a bit extreme. My nieces and nephews walked in my father's funeral procession at Arlington National Cemetery as children. Yeah, and I think that's, from a time when people did used to do that, and even in public. And I think when William and Harry did it, they were kind of required to do it by the generation that used to do that. And I think if you're of a sensitive disposition, that could be quite tough. And that's probably what the boys think about that situation now. Diamond today says, so sorry I missed you, Elliot. Don't worry, you can always watch on catch up. Odia says, very nice, thoughtful gifts. You are appreciated. Thank you so much to everyone who gifted me something from my wish list. The wish list is in the link description of this video too. How long do I think before Harry and Meghan have children? Not long. I reckon there'll be a new royal baby sometime 2019. Hello to Nina. The first Mrs. R says, of course, in some parts of the US, 18 generations ago would still make Queen Charlotte black. She certainly wasn't mixed race in terms of the same way that Meghan Markle is. M says, Queen Victoria and Prince Albert are the first to ride on a train. There you go, answering one of the questions. Lots of people saying yes, show us. Okay, I will just pop and get what I wanted. I should have got it out before, but I totally forgot. So bear with me. You might even still be able to hear me if I talk. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Right. Okay, I got it. I left it in my drawer. Okay, I have bought today something for the new royal baby. And I wanted to show it on chat because I wanted some ideas for it. So I have bought a baby boy card. Congratulations on your baby boy. Of course, for Prince Louis. I bought it today from the shop, and it's blank inside. So what I wanted was some suggestions from viewers about what comments or messages that I could put inside the card for William and Catherine and the new baby Prince Louis. So this is the first time I've opened it. It's a baby boy card. So I'm hoping you can see the design on it. It's quite nice and classy with a kind of yellowy goldy envelope, and it's blank inside. So if you leave me some comments about what I should put, messages I could send inside, if you leave them in the comment section once this video goes live on my YouTube channel, then I will pick the best ones or combinations of the best ones, and I will compile a message from viewers of the channel, which I think will be quite nice to send. And of course, we can see if we get a reply. And if I do get a reply, I will open it live. I will save it. I will not open it. I will save it live to open with you guys. So let me know what messages, or maybe you could write a poem or something that you'd like to see in there, and I will pick my favorite ones and incorporate them somehow into the message. Eileen says, I can't imagine Harry and Meghan not inviting the Duchess of York to their wedding. Can you imagine how uncomfortable it would be for them to then see her at Eugenie's wedding in October? I would agree. Charlotte says, within 13 months there will be a baby, don't you think? I do think. Swile says, I am waiting, seeing Elliot to wear his top hat when the wedding happens. I am going to wear the top hat when the wedding happens, most definitely. Eileen says, love my black watch pants. They're kind of tartan. Like, well, yeah, they're like a check. They're checked. Following in the footsteps of Prince Edward. I still need my velvet slippers. And Jamie says, you should wait till they have an official photo. They will normally send with a reply. Good point. Shall I wait for an official photo? But you can still send me the messages and I can still get it ready. Charlotte says, be more aware of life than Louis the 14th was. Liz Ross says, have you seen the Disney clip of Winnie the Pooh welcoming Prince Louis? No, I haven't. Is it on YouTube? I will have to look. W says, when Prince Charles becomes king, is it likely that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge will leave their apartment and move to... No, I think they will stay at Kensington Palace. It's unlikely they will move to, for example, Clarence House. It's possible even that Charles may keep Clarence House and use Buckingham Palace as more of an official office. But we'll have to wait and see. It's entirely up to Charles when he takes over and becomes king. Heather says, very nice card. Thank you so much. And Marilyn says, did I see the video of Harry calling to Meghan as Meg? Seems that is what he calls her. She said on a talk show that her friends call her Meg. Yes, Meg is the abbreviated version of Meghan in the UK. So shouting Meg, Meg. Most people will be screaming Meg. So she'll have to get used to being called Meg, I think. Ren says, all the best wishes and congratulations on the new baby for the royal reveal. Well, it's not my new baby, but yes, I will take it. And I wish them all the happiness and best wishes for the new Prince Louis. And thank you for all your wishes for my channel and all the followers too. Hello to Susan. And yes, I think everyone will be at Eugenie's wedding too. Okay, now let me check my list to see if I have mentioned everything that I wanted to. Okay, going back to last week, the Queen's birthday party, which was televised, I really enjoyed it, and one of my favourite parts was the cleaning windows song on the ukulele. Please let me know your favourite parts or favourite songs on the Queen's birthday party. I think I did speak about this last week, but I wanted to mention it again because I really, really enjoyed the cleaning windows and the ukulele. The Queen and Harry were involved in the London Marathon this week. The Queen launched it by pressing a big red button at Windsor Castle, which formally launched the London Marathon. And Prince Harry was at the finish line to greet all the finishers, and in particular some of the people running that had disabilities as well. So I think that was a very worthwhile day for Prince Harry. Now, Princess Beatrice, there was a new royal role this week. She attended the National Scout Service. Now, a member of the royal family does attend this each year. This time, Princess Beatrice attended in an official engagement on behalf of the Queen. I do believe it's probably one of her first official engagements, if not the first, for Princess Beatrice. Could this mean a potential future role for Princess Beatrice in the royal family coming up? Maybe more of an increased workload? It's possible. I've always said that their worth would come when older members or older generations no longer do royal engagements. We've seen that Prince Philip has retired. There is a lot of work going down, a lot of his patronages that need support. Is Princess Beatrice in line to get some of them? Only time will tell. But I certainly think that there is a future role for Eugenie and Beatrice in the future. And I think Charles will realise that one day when he becomes king. Harry and Meghan also attended the Stephen Lawrence Memorial. Now, Stephen Lawrence was a murdered teenager who got caught up in violence, and there was kind of racial things going on as well at the same time. And Harry and Meghan attended his 20th anniversary memorial service. And I think it was agreed there's going to be a Stephen Lawrence Day every year. I think that was the outcome of it. Prince William attended the Anzac Day service, which of course is honouring Australian veterans who died in the Gallipoli War, I do believe. So I'd like to send out my best feelings and wishes to the families or the descendants of the families that were affected in that capacity. And Charles also attended his own kind of events to do with that too. And Charles was in France this week as well. But I didn't have time to actually cover all of his engagements because there was so much with Royal Baby going on. And of course, so much last week with the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. So it's been a very, very busy 2 weeks. And Harry and William, I do believe it was their first joint plaque unveiling. They unveiled a plaque at the Greenhouse Centre, which is in London. So that was another monumentous occasion because, like I say, I do believe it was their first. And yes, everyone, please hit the like button. It really does help. Rita says Sarah has been invited to Prince Harry and Meghan's wedding. Well, I'm not sure. I don't know whether that's true or not. I haven't seen any reports that is true. Angelique Lovely says, is it true that Meghan Markle has royal blood from her father's side? Apparently there are links that go back, but I haven't traced it back myself. Heather Black says, I love your channel. Thank you so much. And so does HN Chef. Jamie says, oh my, I was just singing when I'm cleaning windows when you said that comment. I loved it too. And yes, you obviously loved it too. Lulu says, when the Queen is 100, who will she get a card off to mark the occasion? Herself. I would love to see her post herself a card. Charlotte says, I think Charles will never become king. And I think the fortune tellers will be right. I think Volume will go straight on to being king. as Parker bowls will not be accepted. Oh my goodness. I would say with regards to Charles never being king, fake news. He's definitely going to be king, and Camilla will be queen, Queen Camilla, as a queen consort. Rita says Australian and New Zealand soldiers lost their lives in the Gallipoli War. Soil says it's time the younger generations to carry on parts of the royal work. Yes, I do believe that there is going to be an ever-increasing work handover as time goes on. Cindy is saying, as an American, I too thought World War II began in 1941 until I learned of Anzac Day. Eileen says, Elliot, you need to take a job with the royal family. They need your special brand of public relations working for them. I would love to. In fact, I was just thinking today, I was in the shower. Shall I tell you about my shower? I was in the shower, and often my mind wanders when I'm in the shower to royal things, as they do. So there I am, scrubbing away, washing my hair. By the way, I've started using the Australian Aussie shampoo. It's amazing to use it. So there I was, scrubbing away, thinking, what would I love to do for a TV program? And yes, I'd love to do a TV program following around royal tours. I said that last week. But another one I would love to do, I would love to do a series of vlogs for my channel, a life Duke for a week. And I was thinking, when the Queen isn't in Balmoral, I would love to go to Balmoral and do a series of vlogs where the staff kind of treat you a bit like you're royal, and you experience everything that a royal would experience at Balmoral. And I thought that would be really, really good. So that's what I was thinking about in my shower this morning, about how good it would be. Ken says Charles will be king by law unless he does not survive the king. Unless he does not survive the Queen. Yes, that is totally correct. Arnold Sanders says, I am American and I know World War II started in 1939. Wendy says, what is the colour of royal blood? To me, blood is red. Love is the most important thing. Well, of course, it's the same colour for everybody. Pamela says, Meghan had bare arms in church. That tells me she might have not grown up to church, not judging, just an observation. I mean, I can't possibly comment on that. I believe she went to a Catholic school, but I do not know about her church habits or anything of that nature. Rita says, what is my cup today? The Queen's birthday concert is on YouTube. It is indeed. I did see it. But for how long, I don't know before it gets copyright claimed. Yes, it's my cup that has London things on, like the Victoria Memorial, red buses, Buckingham Palace, St Paul's, telephone boxes, money, the Tower of London, the Tower Bridge. It's got everything on it. And it keeps my drink warm while I'm doing this chat. Jamie says, the Queen posting her own card would be quite a sad sight. It would highlight how lonely the position is. But she could write herself a cheery message inside. Okay, now I am going to leave this week's chat here. We have been on for an hour and 46 minutes, and I've really, really enjoyed tonight's chat, and I've really enjoyed opening the lovely things that you have sent me. So I will be here next week live at 10 o'clock GMT. If you missed any of this chat, you can always watch on catch up. And it really does help if you give this video a big thumbs up, a really big thumbs up, because YouTube, the algorithm, then obviously thinks and knows that you're enjoying it, and it will promote it more so that more and more people will get to see my show and potentially be involved in next week's chat. So it really does help to give a big old thumbs up. Don't forget as well to hit that notification bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video, because YouTube doesn't always push the new uploads to you. Even if you subscribe to the channel, you have to hit the notification bell to make sure you get all the latest updates and notifications that there are new videos to watch. So please make sure that you hit that bell. So from me until next week, Have a voluptuous week. I know I will, and hopefully, I'm hoping for a quieter royal week with the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting the week before, and obviously this week, Royal Baby. I'm hoping for a bit of a quieter period so that I can make some completely random videos. I'd love to do some random videos that I've been hoping to make for a while. I really want to finish off my Hyacinth Bouquet series of my episode that I wrote, and I'd like to write some more of that too. So keep looking for videos for next week, and I will try and keep you informed of everything as it happens, and of course as true a news as you can possibly get anywhere. And I endeavour to bring you the truth. So from me in Shropshire, until next time, goodbye.